Let me know once you can see this. Are you able to see my screen, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes, Mukesh.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So coming to the Tosca, we will cover this all the topics in this uh, sessions. So coming with we'll start with the introduction of Tosca tests. This is we have already covered in the demo session. Who are all not attended demo session, please go through that video once again. If you go with that once or twice, it will be good for you. Like you will get to know what is mean by Tosca, what are all the uses, and what are all the advantages of Tosca, how it will work actually. All the things you can find it in a demo video. So introduction of Tosca tested we can cover there. Okay, so today I'll start with this creation of workspace. How we can create a workspace in a Tosca, what is mean by workspace, what are all the uses, how we can create different types of workspaces, we can cover now. Okay, I'll start with this one. So I'm opening Tosca Commander. When you open Tosca Commander, you can see this is project window. This project window. Here you're able to select the project. If you are already create a project, you can select the respective project like demo project, Tosca, demo 12, multi, single like that. Or if you want to create it newly, here you have to create a project, which means workspace. If you want to do some work in a Tosca, if you are working on some project and you want to work on some, create some test cases and everything, execution, put everything. If you want to work something in Tosca everywhere, you need workspace, right? Without workspace, we can't work anywhere. We have to, we need one workspace to work. Workspace means creating some repository in our local machine or connecting to the DB or whatever it may be. We need to create some workspace to work it. Okay. So that workspace path like storage location might be in our local machine or it might be in like central repository databases as well. First of all, we have to create a workspace. So in this window, you can create a workspace. You can see we can create a workspace and project. Both are called same. We can create a workspace or project. This is the window. Here you can see these are all the created projects or workspaces. Okay. If I clicked on it, open it, it will open that respective project. So I can see that what are all the existing test cases developed in the project like that. Or if I want to create it newly, you can see option here, create new. Okay. In Tosca, multiple projects, multiple workspaces will be there. Like you can see the here, number of workspaces are there. So now I'm going to create a new workspace. For this page, I want to use a new workspace or new project for this. So if you want to create a new workspace in Tosca, usually there are two types of workspaces. Okay. Single user workspace and multi-user workspace. What is mean by single user workspace? What is mean by multi-user workspace? Single user workspace can be handled by only one person so that he will only get an access for the workspace. He can only work on the workspace at a time. Okay. Multi-user workspace means same workspace can be handled by the multiple people, multiple users. For example, we have a team of 4 or 5 members of automation team of 5 members. Those 5 members can work on the same workspace. What all the work that you are doing, he can see. What all the work that he is doing, you can see. Like that, all 5 people get to know what is the progress of the overall project and everything. What all the test case that we developed, executed, everything. Everyone can see in the project. That is called multi-user workspace. And A person, you are creating some test cases. B person is creating some test case. C person is creating test case. Everything will be stored into the same repository. Everyone they are having their own folders. They can create test cases in their own folders and everything. but everything will be stored into the same repository. Anyone can see it. So when multiple people can log in, can work on the same workspace, that is called multi-user workspace. Okay. Now I'll show you how to create a single user workspace and multi-user workspace. You can see I'm going to click on create new. Here you can see this is the new workspace window. You can see select the type of repository. Here for single user workspace, we don't need to select any repository type. I'm selecting create single user workspace. I want to create single user workspace now. So I'm selecting single user workspace. Later, you can see this option, create new workspace in. Where you should create. Usually we are working in our local machine. This is my local machine, right? So the workspace and everything will be stored into the path of this. See Tosca projects, Tosca workspace. So the workspace is going to create at this path. If you want to change the path, you can change the path. By default, it will take like this. Okay, if you want to change the path also, you can change the path. You can select a new path. But I'm happy with this path, so I'm keeping as it is. Okay. Next, select name for new workspace. You have to give name, right? Like how it is having different names. Like that, I want to give name. So here I'm giving name like so demo 16 underscore single I'm creating. I'm giving workspace name as demo 16 underscore single. Okay. You're providing some workspace name. Any name you can provide. If some project people are using same workspace, you can use same workspace name. It's up to you. Next, use workspace template, which means as I showed you in Tosca in demo, we have some standard modules, set of standard modules, right? So if you want to use some set of standard modules, it should be there while installing. While creating the project, it will get installed. So if you checked this one, this file, you can see if I checked this one, this file, standard.tsu file, which means in this file, all the standard modules will be there. If without checking out it, if you click on OK, it will create a project with a single user with the will store here with this name, but it will not have any standard modules. Okay. If you check this one, you're selecting the option of use workspace template so that you will get all the standard modules. This file is get downloaded automatically. It will store it this path so that you can get all the standard models in this workspace. So in particular workspace, you can choose you need standard models, you want it or not. Here I want standard model, so I'm checking out it. Okay, selecting repository type, where it is storing, what is the name of the workspace. I want standard model, so I'm checking out it. Clicking on OK. Workspace got created. You can see all the sections like how you can see in the demo video. In the same way, you can see all the sections like menu options, ribbon sections, tree view, detail view, properties pane, status bar, and what is the user whether we logged in. And you can see here Tosca Commander demo 16 workspace name, project name is demo 16 underscore single. Where it's stored? Stored at workspaces. In that path it is stored. Okay. So this is called single user workspace. Everything will be same, but I'll show you. I'll create a multi-user workspace and I'll show you. But here you can observe one thing. Everything is available except I'm selecting multiple things here, even though I can't see these four options. Update all, check in all, checkout, checkout. These four are in disabled mode. You can see. If I go to any section also, if I'm clicking on anything also, These four will be in disabled mode. These four are the difference between the single user and multi-user. I'll tell you after creating multi-user what are all the uses of these four. Okay. So this is single user. Only one user can work. If I want to work on this one, only I can access this one. Okay. I can't create a single user workspace with a database. I can create single user workspace with my local machine path only. That's it. I can't create it with a database. So obviously it is storing at my local machine only. No one can, a B person having his own machine. So he can't work on my mission, right? He can't access to my mission. So single user workspace is used to handle by the only one user, single user in the local mission. Like he needs to work. If he want to close it, he can close it and we can open it. Only some other needs to work on it. He needs to access his laptop or he needs to take the laptop. That's it. Okay, that is single user workspace.
Santosh.
So I'm closing this workspace. If you want to close the Tosca, you can close it here directly. Or if you want to close the respective workspace, go to here project. You can see this one, close. Again, you will be navigated to project window. Okay, you can see demo 16 single. Now I want to create a multi-user workspace. So there are two types, like in normal two types of workspaces, right? In multi-user also, we can create a multi-user workspace by connecting to the database. Okay, now we can't set up the database for this one and we need to do everything. So we can't connect it. In our local machine only, we can make our local machine as a database and we can create, we can replicate the multi-user workspace how we do in a real time. Okay, in real time, usually they use multi-user workspace only. Multi-user workspace will be handled by the multiple users. So all the team members can work on the same workspace. Everyone can see the same thing. What all the work they are doing, everyone can see it. Okay, it is connected to the repository, like central repository might be SQL server, whatever it will be. They can connect to the central repository. What all the work they are doing, each and every work will be stored into the central repository. So all the people can see that repository work in their mission, local mission. So this is the mission I'm logging with. The same way, some other also created same multi-user workspace in their mission by using the same workspace name by connecting the same repository. Repository is same, workspace is same. So he can see all the work, everything. Okay. And on the same way, C person also can see. Like that, multiple people can work on the same workspace. If it is connected to the database, we can replicate the same thing in our local machine also. How we can do multi-user like that, we can do here also. So creating new, you can see select a type of repository. Here, we in general, in real time, you have to select the in general real time how we need to create a workspace. I'll show you now. Later, I'll replicate the same thing in our local machine. Select type of repository. Usually, if it is a SQL server, they'll choose MS SQL server. Okay. After choosing MSQL server, database repository, already when they are going to create a workspace and when they are creating workspace for the Tosca's space and everything, they'll set up everything at backend. Okay. And after setting up the things, they'll provide you connection string. It might be 3 to 4 lines, multiple digits like this. Like the connection string will be there of 3 to 4 lines. So you have to provide the connection string like this after selecting the repository. So with this connection string, we are able to connect to the repository. So this is the Tosca's connection string. They'll provide you connection string as well. What is the connection string for the respective repository? It is already existed, right? So you have to use existing repository. If you're creating newly, you don't need to check this one. But they will create a new one. They will provide you the existing repository thing. You have to create a workspace. You have to create a workspace by connecting to the same repository. So you are creating workspace in your local machine, but you have to connect to the same repository. The repository connection string will be same for everyone who are working in a team. Okay, so we have to check this one, use existing repository. We have to provide a connection string like this. After providing connection string, if it is the right connection string, if we click on test connection, it will be check the connection and it will show like this here, a right symbol, green tick symbol you can see, which means we are able to connect the string successfully. If connection string is wrong, if you create a workspace also, it will not get created. Why? Because this creation of workspace is linked to the repository. So the respective repository connection string definitely we have to provide. If it is wrong, it will not get created. Okay. So we have to provide connection string. We have to check it whether it is right or not. If it is checked, if it is right, you can see the right symbol there. Then you can see same, create new workspace in. Okay, this part you can see this part, common repository part. You can see the border also, common repository. This is completely related to the repository database, choosing database, providing connection string, checking the connection, everything is related to the common repository. You can see this box is related to workspace. Okay, workspace means in your local machine you have to create the workspace. So create new workspace in where you have to create workspace in our local machine path. This is same way how we provided a workspace name, same name you can provide there also. Demo 16. Demo 16 underscore multi. Okay, which means you can understand one thing. In workspace, we are going to create a workspace in our local machine. Okay, I showed you four options, right? By using the four options, we can update our workspace which we have created in my machine, in local machine. We can update those to the repository. So if that is the link between the our local workspace and repository. So by creating workspace only, we have to provide the linked common repository details here, and we have to provide the local workspace details here. Here I'm providing workspace is going to create at this path, and I'm providing name of this one is demo 16 underscore multi, and I have to click on OK. If I click on OK, it will create a workspace in my machine at this path with this name. By using the four options that I showed you in single user, by using the four options, you created some test cases. If you do click on check in all, those created work will be updated to the this repository. So this multi-user workspace is a combination of repository connection and local machine connection. Single user, you can't find common repository, only you can find workspace details. Why? Because it is storing it on my machine only. I can't connect to any repository. I can't update my work to the repository. But in multi-user, everyone needs to be connected to the same repository, same connection string. Everyone is able to create their own work in their local machine. After creating it by using the four options, they can update to the repository. So four members are working by creating the workspace in their local machine, but everyone is need to connect to the same connection string, right? So all the work that are created by them will be updated to same repository. Okay, it is storing it same. Okay, this is the real-time creation of workspace. Selecting user like a repository, use existing repository, providing the connection string, checking whether the connection string is valid or not. Then only we are able to connect to the database. Then only we are able to update our works to the database, that repository. Then in our local machine, we have to provide some name, right? Choosing the path, providing the name. What is mean by create slim workspace? If usually in real time, if it is a small type of medium type of projects, we are already connecting to the repository. If in this repository workspace is less, for example, already some test cases might be created in the repository. You are not the new one, right? Okay, might be previously also some people might be worked in that workspace. Okay, so if it is huge, it is a long, like long workspace. Without checking it, if you click on OK, okay, it will take too much time to create the workspace. It may take 3 to 4 hours also to create the workspace. Why? It need to connect to the connection string like this database, and all the database workspace you are able to see it, right? You are able to see it in local. So it should sync all the workspaces available in the repository to your local machine. It should sync, it should transfer the file like work to local machine in your domain. So it will take too much time. Instead of that, you can click on create slim workspace. You can click on OK. Then only it will not sync to your local machine. With unsync, you can see with the like cloud symbol. You are able to see the structure, but it will not sync up with your local machine. So that the workspace will get created within like 10 to 15 minutes, max 10 minutes it will take. But all the work we need, we can sync up later, no issues. Okay, clear slim workspace means we will not taking all the work which are available in the repository to our local machine. We just taking the structure of it. That's it. If you want to sync up later after creating workspace, you can select respective things and you can sync up, no issues. Okay, this is how usually we create a multi-user workspace in real time. Okay, so connecting the repository, creating workspace in a local machine, then only we will get those 4 options. Check in all, update all. I showed you, right? Those 4 options.
Yes,
But now we can't connect to the repository, like we know we can't create a database. Everything is set up, right? So if you want to create database, everything license we need to set up with the Tosca thing. So we can replicate the same working scenario with another option. You can see.
branch means something.
Sorry.
Branch means.
Branch means it is master. By default, it will be master only. Branch master means it will create a whole test case. You can see another option also. Error while loading the branches, which means in this they can maintain the branches as well. In this central repository, if they want to maintain the branches separately, they can maintain the branches as well, which means divides subparts. But usually no one will create the separate repository for them. They'll create only one repository by using the branch. You can see error while loading the branches. Other option also. If something is there messing up with them, they can create separate repository with the errors and like mistaken workspace. They'll choose this error while loading branches. Okay. So usually it will be master only. So this is the repository. Now we can't come to the repository, right? We can't create everything. We need to set up a backend. For it is a huge time to set up the workspace first time with the task real time. So we can replicate the same scenario by using this option. You can see SQLite. SQLite means we can replicate the same SQL server in a light way. I'm choosing SQLite. Okay, I'm choosing SQLite. If you already created existing repository, you can just check this one. I'm unchecking it. Okay, create new repository in. Now I'm going to create a new repository in my local machine only. Okay, repository also I'm creating in my local machine, which means my local machine will work as a common repository as of now. Okay, to replicate that scenario I'm saying. So I am unchecking it. If already it is there, you can choose this one. So I want to create it newly. So I'm checking it. Create new repository in this one. There the repository is going to create. Select a name for new repository. Demo 16 multi. I'm providing same. Now hit your workspace details. This is repository details. A repository is going to store in my local machine in a different path. Here workspace detail. Same workspace name I am providing. Path, same name. Here you can see use workspace template, which means I need a standard module option. So I'm checking out it. Selecting SQLite, providing name of the repository, path you can see, providing the name of the workspace, path you can see, checking out use workspace template, and this standard module will get created. Just clicking on OK. You can see when we are creating with a multi-user and single user workspace, it is not asking any login and username and password. But when it is for the multi-user workspace, multiple people can access, right? So in that they can restrict, they can provide 5 people are working on a multi-user workspace, they are accessing same workspace. They can provide this security things. They can give individual username and password. They can log in. Now we didn't set up anything, so by default, I can click on login without entering any password. If I want, I can maintain clicking on login. Okay. Now you can see same UI. You can see how you can see in a single user workspace. The only difference is these options in enable mode. You can see. Check in out. Able to see. You can see these 4 options in enable mode: update all, check in all, check out, check out. But in single user workspace, you can't see these 4 options. Okay, usually in real time, these 4 options will be enabled. To replicate the same real time, we have created SQLite. We have used that repository so that we are able to replicate the same type of thing. Okay, everything will be same in with the single user or multi-user workspace except these 4. Okay, now you can see what is mean by these 4 things. Okay, coming to the UI, you can see update. You can adjust these things like this, selecting this one here also, selecting like this one. You can adjust the things. You can do anything. I'll show you remaining next classes. Yeah. Now we can see these 4 options. What do you mean by these 4 options? Usually, when you are connected to the multi-user workspace, A person working on something, B person working on another thing, C person working in his local machine. Usually, they need to create a workspace in their local machine only by connecting to the central repository, right? So A person in his local machine, he created some test cases. B person also did the same thing. C person also did the same thing until he created in his local mission. See, this is my local mission. This is my Tosca commander in my local mission. I have created some test cases here like this. I have developed some test cases and created models like this. So it is in my local mission only, right? If it needs to be updated, if I click on save, it will be saved in my local mission. You can see the path, right, where workspace got created. There it will be stored. But while creating the workspace in real time, we have need to provide the central repository, right? If this local created work needs to be updated in the repository, right? If you want to update it to the central repository, you can see this option, check in all, which means what are all the works that you did. By clicking on this option, all the workspace will be updated to the central repository, which you have created, selected while creating the workspace. The common repository string you need to provide, right? To that repository, all the works is going to update. In the same way, B person is also
Connected to
created.
server.
Yes. B person also created some test cases like test case 2, test case 3. C person also created some test cases 5 and 6. Until he do check in all, it will be stored in his local mission only. I can't see his mission, right? D person created test case 5. Until he do check in all, it will be stored in his local mission only, not in another mission, right? So which means it will be stored in his local path. Once he click on check in all the workspaces that he created, all the test case that he created will be updated to the repository. If after creating test case one, if I do check in all, these test case will be updated to the repository. In the same way with the B person, C person, D person also. So to update the workspace from our local machine to the central repository, we have to do check in all, check in all. We are checking all the things to the repository. That is called check in all. Okay. Now all the workspace will be stored into the central workspace. Okay. Usually in real time, it will be stored into the central repository. Now we have created same repository in our local machine only. So it will update their workspace. So if you want to update the workspace to the repository, you have to do check in all. Enough. Next, coming to the checkout. Checkout means if you want to do some modification to the existing one, see, you can see like this. Until you check out, you can't do modification to the check in all things. This is in this repository tab. Now, if I am right clicking on it, you can't see any options here. Okay. I'm right clicking on, you can see checkout option, checkout. If I click on checkout, you can see green symbol, which means if you want to do any modification, if you want to create any test case, whatever it may be, if you want to do any modification to the repository things, you have to do checkout. Checkout. You can see, you can do checkout here, or you can do right click and checkout here also. Both are same. Which means it is in green symbol, which means we are able to do the modification. Now I'm right clicking on it. You can see creating folder, everything. You can see all these options. Previously, I can't see these options. Here also you can see right clicking on it. You can't see any options. Only checkout three options you can see. Okay, if you want to do any modification, if you want to create any test case, what it means, if you want to do some changes, you have to check out. Check out means we are taking this test case from the server to do some modification. So we need to right click on it. We have to click on checkout here or here. Both are same. Then only you're able to modify it. Once you did modification and you did some modification like this. So you saved it. It's stored in your local machine. You want to update this also again to the repository. Do check in all. So it will store into the repository updated. Enough. But if you want to do some modification to anything, you have to do checkout. Without checkout, you can't do. Same thing with checkout tree. Checkout means it will happen to the only particular thing. Checkout tree means it will update to the respective subfolders, child elements also. So you can see if I do checkout this one, only I can see I can able to modify to this one only. I can create folder here and everything I can do, but I can't do modification to the child elements. But if I do checkout tree, I'm doing checkout tree, see, all the symbol, all the subfolders and everything, sub elements also you can see in a green symbol, which means I can able to modify all the subfolders also for this folder. Difference is same. Checkout means we are able to check out the particular folder. Checkout tree means we are checking out whole tree for this folder. You can see everything is in a green symbol. We can do modification for the below all the folders. That is called checkout tree. Checkout and checkout tree, simple difference. Okay. Next, what is mean by update all? For this also, I have created test case one here. I did check in all. B person created test case 2. He did check in all. C person created test case 3. He did check in all. Okay. All workspaces, all test cases is going to create like is going to update in central workspace or repository. Okay. So if you want to know that, you need to take an update all, which means if you take update all the workspace, you can see the symbol also, repository symbol, downloading the symbolic, which means all the updates which are available at present in the workspace, all will sync up with your thing. For example, I have created test case 1, I did check in all. B person created test case 2 in the same folder, he also did check in all. Or else B person created some folder here with the test case 2. Like something, some new folder he created, he did check in all. It is updated into the repository also. Automatically, you will not get that update, right? Automatically, you will not get that update. If you want to see that, if you take update all, you click on this one, all the updates at present which are available in the workspace will be updated to your local machine, which means you can see them. Once you take update all, you can see the new folder that he has created. Once you take update all, what all the updates that are available in workspace, you can see. If we create test case 2, if we did check in all, after doing check in all, this will be updated into the repository. If you take update all, then the test case 2, you can see here. If he is not doing check in all, it is in his local machine only. If you take update all also, you can't see. Why? Because it is saved in his local machine only, not in the repository. This update all will take the updates from the repository only. Okay, until he do check in all, those will not update in the repository. So if you take multiple update also you can't see. So usually multiple people work on the same workspace set. After logging to the Tosca, usually day start of the day, after logging to the Tosca, we do update all, which means what are all the workspaces they can work. We are not working in the same environment, like same like time zone. Might be same workspace can be used by the on-site people also like this. So after logging to the Tosca, the first thing we do is doing update all, so that all the works and everything available at present time, it will be sync with your local machine. You can see all the works. Then after doing everything work and everything done, before leaving the Tosca, we have to do check in on, which means the work that you have created in local machine will be saved in a local machine only. If you do check in on, this work will be going to update in central repository or server. Okay, same thing. You have created test case 1, B person logged in. Okay, you did check in also. This test case 1 updated. B person created. He can't see this one usually. Once he take update all, he can see test case 1 that you have created. So that's why I said anyone, all the people can see the work that are available in the repository. Everyone can monitor it. Everyone can see it. There is no hiding in this. Everything will be in a transparent. Okay, so that is, if you want to take the updates from the repository which are available in that repository, by using the update all, you can take all the updates from the repository. Check in all to do your work. If you want to update your workspace to the repository, you have to do check in all. Checkout means if you want to do any modification for the respective, you can do checkout. Checkout tree means whole folder and everything, sub elements of files, everything will be into the checked out state. Okay, these are all the 4 repositories. Why single user workspace not having means we don't need to do checkout. Only one user working on it, so we don't need to any checkout. We don't need to take it out from the server or repository to work on to modify it. So there is no use of checkout and checkout. Same way, we have no need to update it to the check-in all repository. This is single user, only you are working on it, so no one able to see that also. So there is no use of check-in all. Update also, we don't not connecting to a database or repository, so there is no use of update also. So that's why in single user workspace we can't see these 4 options. In multi-user workspace only we can see these 4 options. Single user workspace is purely related to the practicing purpose. In our local machine we can do the same thing like usually now also, but I want to show you like how usually real-time environment will be. We need to work on the multi-user work environment. You need to be habituated with these 4 options. After logging to the Tosca, taking update all, checking out tree. After closing the workspace, before closing the workspace, you need to check in all everything you have to do. Okay. Any doubts on this till now? Creation of workspace, what are the workspace types, these 4 options.
Is updated all only local machine share?
Update all?
Only local machine save.
No, no, no. Update all
Not connect,
means if you
not
are,
connected to server.
yes, what are all the server updates are there, you can see to the local machine. See, something updation will be there until you sync up, you can't see the updates, right? So it is made synchronization to the your workspace and repository. If you take update all, what are all the updates at present in the server, you can, it will be sync up with your local machine, you can see them. Any doubt? If it is a small
Check-in.
doubt, don't hesitate to ask. It is better to clarify at the same day. Please.
Yeah, Santosh. Actually, one test case is created. No need
Hmm.
to check in, but not connect to server.
If you take updateal, it will not come to your local machine. For example, test case one, I
Oh,
have created a person. Assume that I am a person. I have created test case one. Same way, B person, you have created same workspace with the same connection string with connect to the same database, which means you should be able to see my work, right? If
yeah,
I didn't do check in all, this test case one is not going to update in database. If you take multiple times update also, you can't see this test case one. Why? Because
yeah,
it is saved in my local machine. I didn't do check in all. Until I do check in all, it will not update into the repository. If I do check in all, it will be updated in the repository. Then if you take update all, that repository things will be updated to your local machine. You can see test case
local
one.
machine.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah, got it. Got it. And one more thing, Santosh, it is select the creation time project. Uh, Select the workplace template. It is not show the standard modules. It is not selected the workplace template. It is not showing the modules, no? Standard modules.
If you're not selecting the standard model, it will not show the standard model. Later we can, if we want to take, after creating the workspace, if you want to install it, you can take standard subset from the website, you can download it, no issues.
Okay.
Anyone, any other thing?
I have a question. I mean, not related to this update all check in all. So usually when we see the other modules such as uh, test cases and modules, is this already covered or else we are going to discuss in future?
Sorry, your voice is very slow actually. I didn't hear you properly.
Oh,
Can
I'm
you
so
speak it
sorry.
loud?
No, what my question is, since we are update all check in all this all we have, I mean,
Hmm.
I understood there are
Hmm.
other tasks which is like module test case design and test
Yeah, yeah.
planning. Those we will be going to see in future, or else is it already covered in demo session or something?
No, no, no. By default, with the Tosca commander, the sections will be there. Those are the default sections in Tosca. We don't need to create, we don't need to do anything. By default, it will come like that. These are the, I'm sharing. You can see.
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. In Tosca, we don't need to create a framework. So these are all like a framework. These sections, by installing the Tosca, by creating the workspace itself, it will come. Whether it may be single user workspace, multi-user workspace, whatever it may be, these sections are by default sections. There only we can work. We don't need to create it separately. By default, it will come.
Okay, so about this each individual sections, are we going to see in future classes or else?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fine, thanks.
I just a brief thing for 1 minute I given in demo. It is better to see the demo. We didn't cover that much, but with the basic things, the UA of the Tosca and everything, we did that.
Okay, thank you.
In future coming classes, we'll cover all the things. Anything, anyone?
I have another question. So coming to this
Yeah.
credentials things like to log in into this particular Tosca. So right now, as you said, like like if you do an individual, we won't see this update all check in all and stuff, right? So this credentials, if we like, I mean, like we're gonna provide those will be like kind of a server type, or else it's an individual type.
No, those are like individual type only, but you can see all these options like credentials means that login credentials are different and this Tosca's workspace command workspace credentials
Okay,
are
okay, okay.
different.
Understood, understood.
Okay, that's all. Okay, if nothing else, we can close the session today. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so much.